If you're searching for peace amongst the greenery, welcome to Gab Loves Plants Sydney. Good morning, everyone. I just thought I would show you the mess still in existence from my move. I've still got to set up the bookcases and plant shelves, but they sort of fell apart during the move, so I'm going to have to take them down and fix the backs, square them up again, and then put them up. But the reason for this video is to show you the sun coming in. This is the east facing side of the building, and these are two of my troughs and pots, and the sun streams in here in the morning, which is lovely. And then if I walk around my balcony, you can see that I've got my propagation and growing station set up here, and if we move forward, sorry, you can see my shadow in the background. You can see that these are getting some nice morning sun. The sun does go away at a certain time. I'm still timing that. We are in the middle of November now, so it's coming up to summer, and the sun will obviously move throughout the year, but you can see that everything is looking pretty healthy in these. However, I have had quite a bit of damage thanks to the hot afternoon sun that comes in, and thanks to the wind. This balcony is calm at the moment, but it has been fierce with wind recently. So if we just move along, we can see all the plants, and this is an example of what the wind does. It absolutely tears the poor little plants apart and moves them from their places. And also the sun in the afternoons is very, very hot, and it burns, and I've got burn damage on a lot of my plants. This one was beautiful with lots of leaves, and as you can see, many of them have crisped up and just died. So I'm going to be going through and doing a great big chop. Good news is that plants will come back to life. I'm still working out how I'm going to have the plants along this balcony, but pretty much I tend to have plants coming all the way down. I'm thrilled with the apartment overall. Here is one of my beautiful Monstera deliciosas. The wind has done a number on this one as well. If you can see this beautiful leaf, second to last new one, has absolutely been ripped apart by the wind, and I've got burn damage on the plants here. I'm just trying to see whether or not this will acclimate a little bit. You can see the newest leaf, so there's some wind damage there, but the newest leaf, which has beautiful fenestrations, is getting a little bit burnt here. The sun comes in here. This is the west facing side of the balcony. The sun comes in the afternoons, and it's burning hot. As you can see here, it has actually blackened this Sphagnum that was growing in here. And once again, I need to come in here and clean out a lot of stuff. But at the moment, there's just so much to be done on the inside that the outside is going to wait for a little while. So that's just a pot of dirt at this stage. And you can see once again here, we have damage, crispy. They've all been watered, and I water them every day, but there's just so much damage. I can't believe it. I had to keep everything on the balcony for the first week or so because I moved the plants in and then moved the furniture in, and there was no room for both, so the damage is quite extensive. As you can see, still moving things. That's plant stuff in that big bag, but still moving things. And no idea what I'm going to do with my hanging plants, except for all these things were inside in my old apartment or on the 2 balconies, which didn't get any sun. So I actually emptied out these 2 troughs when I moved so that removalists could move them easily. The other ones I didn't because they told me not to bother. So I'd already done 2 of them, so I didn't. And so I've just put some pots in there over the soil, because when I was putting soil back into them, the amount of soil that actually spilled out because of the wind was intense. So these are my other things. This side of the balcony, as you can see, gets no sun during the morning, but this gets the boiling hot afternoon sun, and at the moment it is going all the way into the apartment, which is nice, but not really good for my poor little plants. So as you can see, more burn damage here. And the other thing is, I'm watering my moss poles every day, and every day, you know that? They are crispy as. So I can keep watering them, that's fine, but the crispy as is not good, and that's the newest leaf on my standard liana, which is just fried. I thought that plants down here wouldn't get very much sun, so they're actually staying a little bit damper, and they're right up close to the wall. What I intend to do is to have all of my moss pole plants, what I'd like to do is have them up there as a living wall behind the chair, and this chair actually belongs there, but at the moment it's keeping this big monstera standing up because this keeps blowing over in the wind, and again it's getting damaged. This is my other very large form of monstera, as you can see, very large leaves, but again there's damage from the wind and breakage and things. I might actually chop this up because it's lost all its lower leaves, and it's quite top heavy, so I think that's probably going to be a summer project to chop that up. That's just very sad. This is what happens when you have very high winds. The plants just do not survive well. This has started to unfold there, but the rest of it's still tightly packed. And I've actually still got this one taped together because I wasn't about to risk it. Here is another victim, my shingling plant, dubia, my monstera dubia. This is another victim of the heat. And some of these plants were damaged too when they were around the corner in the sun. So I am hoping that I'll be able to bring, well, I know I'll be able to bring them back. It's just everything's going to look messy. Look what happened to my poor bamboo. It's basically dead. So that's going to be chopped up as well once I get the inside organized. And this is a quick look at the inside of the apartment. It's going to be gorgeous when I finally get it sorted. Sad thing, my great big fiddly fig had also had some damage because this was outside, and you can see the damage there. Again, this will come back to life. It's lost a few leaves, not heaps, but it has lost a few. My monstera elbow cuttings, this one here this is dead, but it's got a new growth point just there, and it's got another little nub or something here which is sort of coming up, so I know that will come back, but it is sad when you think about it. other elbows are mostly doing well, although I did notice yesterday afternoon that this one has just started to get a little bit burnt and fried. That's from that afternoon sun coming in. So I'm gonna have to make sure that I shut the blinds at least halfway before I leave for work in the morning if I'm working from the office. Again, apologies for the mess. I'm still unpacking. One of the saddest things is my orbifolia, which was one of my pride and joys. And it was outside getting the morning sun, so not even on the hot side, but it has burnt the poor little thing. It's burnt badly, so all of these leaves are going to come off. We have a look down here, you can see that the wind and the sun are not friends to the orbifolia. And that was just morning sun. So sad, but there we go. I think this is the squamiform or the fuzzy petiole. And this has lost most of its leaves. This was a nice full plant. Again, it got burnt and all the crispiest ones are now gone. This is sad. This is my glorious, which is no longer looking glorious. Again, this was outside in the wind. I have saved it. This is the newest leaf, which has a little bit of warping and damage, but at least it's looking relatively healthy, and this will grow again, I know. And it needs extension to the moss pole, which I will do. One thing that has not suffered are my marantas, and that is because I bought them and had them inside on the kitchen counter. Unfortunately, I couldn't keep everything on the kitchen counter. But this is my baby orbifolia, which was very nicely. It sort of got in trouble outside. And then this is my mother's orbifolia, which I had been rehabbing, which also has burn damage. Again, it will regrow. Everything will regrow in time. But for the moment, it's a mess. Anyway, just wanted to give you guys a quick squiz at this. As I said, it will be nice when I'm all settled in. I think it's probably going to take a couple months because it's just me and I am working at the same time as trying to get the apartment settled, and I'm bloody exhausted. Moving all of these plants was very tiring. As you can see, more crispy leaves. This thing is getting buffeted by the winds in the afternoon, which seem to come up. So again, not sure what I'm going to do with all of these plants. It's got afternoon sun in the other apartment too, but with the wind, I think it's just too strong for it. My Satanthi, as we said, and coming back around to here. So it's about 7:30 now, and the sun is coming up from the east. It's going to track right over my head and then go down. So basically, I have sun all the time, which is going to be lovely. And I'll be able to grow some very nice fruit trees and things like that on this side of the balcony. Oh, look at this. Oh, so pretty. My Christmas cactus is flowering again. You see that little red flower there? That's amazing. Now that is due to the morning sun. So as you can see, these are looking pretty healthy. Even my fern here, which was just, this was a little fern that just appeared in a pot. So obviously it was a traveler. And I'm growing it on. It's got a tiny bit of burn damage just there, if you can see it. But it's growing, mint's growing, all the different plants. Interestingly, my Brazil has become very light in the sun. So this was your normal philodendron Brazil, and it's almost become a lime green thanks to the sun. So fascinating what the sun will do to our plants. And the other thing that's liking it are the Trader Skintias. They're getting sun stressed, and this is the tricolor, and it really is looking tricolorish. So I'll keep an eye on these, because these revert to green and go nuts in low light. But I like that color. That's the color I wanted to be and stay. So let me move back around here. This is going to be the food growing corner of the apartment once I get it all organized. So I've got these are my raspberry canes, which are beginning to come up, which is terrific. I probably won't get any raspberries this year. I had to chop everything back last year, thanks to ants and mealybugs. Ants were farming, but you can see everything is coming back. But new canes coming up there. I planted some basil yesterday, which I bought at the supermarket, and we'll just see what happens to it here. I'm hoping that the sun isn't too hot there, so I'm hoping that the glass won't affect it too much, and then I'll get some nice basil. It certainly smells nice, and I have rosemary bush down there. My parsley is in that tub, which is not looking good, and the chives they're okay, I suppose. I'll move them up into here, and I'll move some of these out at some stage, but at the moment I'm just too damn tired. My frangipani is growing nicely, but again, a little bit of burn damage on that leaf, probably because this is now getting hot at 7:30 in the morning. I can feel it. So that's because that's touching there. And then over here, I have my little snake plant, which is flopping over, and that's probably from sun as well, although I don't know. It's watered, so it's not thirsty. And then there's another one of my fiddle leaves, which I am propagating, so I chopped the tops off it. And it has sprouted from many different places. That thing there, none of that was there a couple of weeks ago. And then down the bottom, I've got some new plants coming up. So if ever your fiddle leaf is losing its leaves or anything, just chop the top off and it will regrow. That's my ZZ over there. That's growing nicely. And that's about it for now, guys. So my new Mascot apartment, which is that's Mascot station down there. I'm on the 11th floor here, and it's very nice. I'm very happy with it. It's apartment heaven around here, but that's okay. The apartment itself is nice, and the plants will have a good time, and I will enjoy learning to grow in these conditions over the next few years, hopefully. Alright guys, I'm going to sign off now. A little over 18 minutes of talking, and you may not be interested in this at all, but just thought I would give a little update. I will see you next time. Thanks.